in your opinion, what are some of the things that utilities should be doing about this, as data centers in their local cities and local regions just ramp up drastically for the next decade with sort of like the demand that they're bringing to the table?
Yeah, yeah. That's a great question, So, we've spoken to and we've worked with a number of utility and wastewater operators in this space, and so there are a couple of learnings that stand out to us at KETOS. So the first thing is that, and that's really what led to us going down this rabbit hole of AI-focused data centers, is that no one is really anticipating exponential growth in wastewater discharge, right? And in some sense, that is understandable, because unless you're really involved in planning for AI capacity growth, it's very difficult to understand how explosive this growth is currently and how much more explosive it's expected to be.
Mhm.
So that's really the first order effect. When you have second order effects like wastewater discharge, it's even more difficult to anticipate. So I think the first thing that we can do to help utilities and wastewater operators is really to educate them about what's coming down the pike, right? And that's really what has prompted this report and this webinar, right? So that's really the first thing, education and really knowing more about this topic. The second really is our mission statement almost. You can't manage what you don't measure, right? So unless and until data center operators proactively adopt water quality monitoring to know what's in their water and how much they need to treat it before discharging it, it's going to be very difficult, right? So to just stay on that point a little more, let's take a hypothetical situation. You're a utility in Virginia, Virginia, Oregon, take your pick. These are areas where there's lots of data centers that operate. And let's say you've budgeted for 1 billion liters of produced water to flow in your, to be treated. And that also includes, for instance, assumptions on, what the average levels of nitrate are, what the average levels of phosphate are, and so on over long periods of time. Let's say you've budgeted for that. But now let's say that a lot of these data centers that are operating in your watershed, they switch their cooling to hybrid cooling or liquid cooling, and the amount and nature of the water discharge changes, right? And the contaminants that are being discharged changes, and you are working on an operating budget that accounts for X amounts of nitrate and phosphate, and that has completely changed. Then you're going to be in trouble, right? So your operating budget needs to sort of reflect the additional load of all of these contaminants that might be discharged, right? So your planning needs to reflect that as well. So, I think figuring out what's in your water and how data center operations might change that is sort of the first order thing that you can do. And it's, easy to do that because, that's what we are here at KETOS for, right?